The stock market is cyclical, okay? We go through bull markets and bear markets, right? And during bull markets, you have all sorts of companies, prices going up, inflated. Actually, a lot of times, the companies that don't deserve the increases in the stock prices during bull markets, they actually are the best performing ones because people lose their mind. And so that's why you saw, all kinds of cryptos and NFTs and unprofitable companies that had no chance of ever reaching profitability being hot. And then during bear markets, you have those companies fail, but then you have companies that have a great chance, have good assets, great chance of becoming something. They're being, thrown out with the bathwater. And so like I'm looking at some things and I'm like, man, millionaires will be made. Millionaires will be made after this bear market is over, okay? Because nobody wants to buy anything, right? But there's companies out there that still have great valuations because of certain things. So I want to bring your attention to two companies. I'm going to talk about Pure Cycle Technologies, and I'm going to talk about Aduro. So if you look at Pure Cycle, look at the market cap, over $1 billion US, right? And the stock was at $30 in 2021. So it is down. How much is it down? It is down almost 80%, okay? Now, it still has a market cap of $1 billion. Now, if we look at their financials, this is for the year ended 2020, 2020, 2021. Do you see something here? They have no revenues for those years. And in 2020, I'm just looking at net income, they lost over 50 million. In 2021, they lost over 77 million. And then in 2022, they lost over almost 85 million. And like, I'm not criticizing it. I'm just stating a fact. They lost money, right? The most recent quarter, I still don't see any revenues, okay? Why is Pure Cycle Technologies, why does it have $1 billion market cap? Is it because the market is stupid? Well, there's not much stupidity going around these days, right? The stupidity has been punished, right? And yet this still has a market cap like this. And I came across this article, Bullish Case for New Plastic Recycling Technology, which was published a couple days ago, which talks about Pure Cycle. So let's go ahead and go through some of these things. A couple years ago, a noted investor, Mike Taylor, managing director of Critical Mass Partners, started talking about a plastic recycling technology company that he thought had 20 to 30x potential. Critical Mass is a long-short equity fund that manages over $1 billion of money. So we're not talking about a dummy here, right? We're talking about a professional here. Through his company, he's well known for blah, 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 blah. Okay, the company is Pure Cycle Technologies, and its technology is capable of recycling polypropylene into new-like plastic resin. Polypropylene accounts for about 16% of plastic production, and though it is technically recyclable, very little of it actually gets recycled. It is estimated about 80 million metric tons of polypropylene are produced globally each year, a number that is projected to continue growing. And here's a little thing from a conversation that they had in the spring of 2021 when the stock was, way higher than what it is today, right? They had this conversation. So Pure Cycle Technologies just spec'd, and they have a market cap of 2.7 billion. So back then, almost 3 billion. They have the only patent to recycle plastic like polypropylene. Everybody uses polypropylene, and people would prefer to use recycled polypropylene. They will have a monopoly. They will build 30 to 50 plants over the next couple of years. States are going to mandate that this product needs to be recycled, and they will be the only player. This could become a 14 billion market cap in the next few years. This is a 10-bagger over the next 3 to 5 years. So why is he talking about how can a company, first of all, have a market cap of $1 billion today, and he thinks it's going to be 14 billion, 10-bagger, what from these levels it's more like a 15-bagger. Why? Because this is such a massive, massive problem. And investors in this company, they don't look at today, okay? They don't look 2 inches in front of their face. They look at what this technology, the problem that this technology can solve, and the kind of revenues that it can produce in the future. That's why they're valuing it today at $1 billion. It's not because they're dumb. It's because they realize that plastic is a major, major problem and the world needs a solution. And this company has something that is going to, in their opinion, is going to be part of the solution, right? And if they're successful with providing the solution, this is, according to them, this is going to be a $14 billion company, okay? That's why they're valuing it today like this. Now, let's go on a little bit here. There's a little bit more from the conversation, and it has a complete and elastic demand. It has a moat in that they have the IP, the technology that nobody else has. Nobody is even close. I don't think so. I don't think he's aware of Aduro. In fact, nobody else is really trying. Again, I don't agree, but I'm just going to continue because they can't. So what you have is pricing power, inelastic demand, and a market that is just gone. It is at least 70 to 80 billion pounds of a year of polypropylene minimum. Now they won't get that level because you can't recycle it all. But all you need is 10 to 15 billion of it, and that is just big money. That is the reason. They're looking ahead, big money. So it's not that important for them that today there's no revenues, okay? That today they're losing money. The company is investing in plants, and they're a little bit further than Aduro. But it's not. They're investing in this technology and what this technology can do in terms of revenues and profits in the future. Okay, and then so here the author is talking about Aduro. And I'm going to link to this article in the description below. I'm not going to read the Aduro section, but all I'm going to say is that somebody that is very smart out there thinks that a company that can be part of a solution, not the entire solution, because we're just talking about one type of plastic. One type of plastic, not all types of plastic like Aduro has. That company can be a $14 billion, okay? Now, Aduro, this is in Canadian dollars, doesn't even have a $50 million US market cap today, okay? And so what happens when Aduro gets further in its development, gets a few more clients signed up, like Shell, other big players, and more people discover it, more funds, you see, the problem for Aduro right now is that it's not big enough for big funds to take positions, right? So smart retail is taking positions. The moment it reaches a certain market cap, whether for some of them it's going to be 100 million, for some of them it's going to be 200 million, for some of them it's going to be 500 million, funds will come in, okay? But from if let's say his calculation is good, right? The company that provides part of the solution can have a market cap of 15, I'm just going to use 15 because I like to use round numbers, $15 billion, right? And Aduro has a market cap of 50. You know what that is? You know what kind of a multi-bagger it is, right? And I'm, of course, assuming no more printing shares and all that, which there will be. I'm using a simple calculation. 300x, right? 300x possibility, right? And now, talking about, for example, margin of safety. Pure Cycle, I have nothing negative to say about it. But which one of these companies has more margin of safety? One company has $1 billion. What happens if, there's some problems? The margin of safety is less, right? Aduro has a market cap of less than $50 million. So here you have a situation where you have two companies with massive upsides. Aduro has a bigger upside because the destination is the same. The technology of Aduro, in my opinion, is better. But Aduro is starting from a lower point, okay? Aduro is not known, tiny market cap. So because of that, the upside is bigger. Yet, the margin of safety is much greater, right? So companies, I don't want to hear again saying that Aduro is not going up today because it has no revenues. Get this out of your mind, right? Pure Cycle has no revenues and had a market cap of $3 billion. It is not about revenues today. It is about proving the technology. It's about the market believing in it. And then people will, when they finally realize this, when they finally realize that maybe the world is not ending tomorrow, that solution will deliver a certain amount of revenue in the future. And actually, sometimes it's a lot better when you don't have revenues because people have big imaginations. When there's no revenues, they can dream up whatever revenues they can dream up. The same thing with mining companies. When they don't have drill results, they can dream up drill results. So sometimes, a lot of times, in bull markets especially, and bull markets come after bear markets, people have big imaginations for companies that don't have a lot of revenues. So we'll see. And also one other thing on Aduro. So the warrant, the selling from the warrants is most likely over because the warrants are expiring, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, and you need like 48 hours to sell something, wire the money. It's not enough time. So probably selling for the warrant purposes is probably over. But anyway, read the article that I linked below, and just think about what I said. And if you have any thoughts, let me know in the comments below.